In this video, we're going to be looking at the laws of exponents yet again, but this time we're going to be looking at some examples. So, this is my second video on the laws of exponents, and I've got three examples on the board. We're going to start on the left-hand side and work our way across. Now, in this first example, I have y to the ninth, and then open parentheses, y cubed, z to the negative 2, close parentheses, that quantity is squared. Then I have 4y to the fifth, that's raised to the fourth power, z to the negative 8. Alright, so you want to start with grouping symbols first in laws of exponents. Remember your order of operations. So when I look at this, the first thing I want to do is take care of this parentheses. Now with exponents like this, what I want to do is multiply them. So I'm going to rewrite y to the ninth. I'm not doing anything with it just right now. And then y cubed raised to the second power, 3 times 2 is 6, that's going to give me y to the sixth power. Negative 2 times 2 gives me negative 4, so that gives me z to the negative 4. On bottom, I'm going to have 4 to the fourth power, y to the 20th. Remember, if there's not an exponent written, it's understood to be 1. And that's all I'm doing to the bottom. Z to the negative 8 is still there. How you proceed from here is pretty much up to you. There's about as many ways of doing this as there are skinning a cat. I like to make things as simple as I can before I start moving junk around. So, what I see first off is y to the ninth times y to the sixth. Well, with exponents like this, we add them. 9 plus 6 is 15. So I have y to the 15th. And that's really all I'm going to do in this step. I have z to the negative 4, still have 4 to the fourth power, z to the 20th, and then this is y to the 20th, and then z to the negative 8. Okay, now we're ready to do the addition and subtraction. If you think about negative 4 minus a minus 8, negative 4 minus a minus 8 is negative 4 plus 8. And negative 4 plus 8 is 4. So we're going to get z to the fourth on top. Now, 15 minus 20. Well, 15 minus 20 is negative 5. Remember, the sign of the exponent means position and fraction. So that's going to give me y to the fifth downstairs. I still have 4 to the fourth. Okay, and that's a pretty big number. 4 to the fourth is going to be 4 times itself 4 times. 4 cubed is 64. 64 times 4 is 16, 24, 256. So our final answer here is going to be z to the fourth over 256 y to the fifth. Now, don't let things like 4 to the fourth scare you. Don't forget, you got a $100 calculator that knows how to do this. Alright, so the second example, we have a quantity raised to the third power. Now, what I like to do is simplify inside parentheses first before I start bringing in outside influences. Now, looking at this, I have negative 2 x to the negative 1 y, then over x y to the negative 1. And this whole mess is cubed. Okay, so I'm not going to do anything with the cubed right off the bat. Negative 2 is not really going to simplify with much of anything, so I'll just leave it alone. X to the negative 1 goes downstairs. You can think of it as moving the x downstairs. That gives you x to the first times x to the first, or x squared. However you think of it, it's fine. As long as you come up with x squared on the bottom, we're good. Same type of deal with y over y to the negative 1. You could think of this as y to the first minus a minus 1, or you could take this y upstairs. You have y times y, that gives you y squared. So that's about as simple as we can make what's inside the parentheses. Now we're ready to take care of this 3. This means you multiply this 3 times every exponent inside. So negative 2 to the third power is going to be negative 8. Y squared raised to the third power, 2 times 3 is 6. And then on bottom, x squared raised to the third power gives me x to the sixth power. So our final answer is going to be negative y to the 6 over x to the 6. For our third example, the third example we have in parentheses 3y to the negative 5 times z to the third power. That whole mess is raised to the third power, and then that whole mess is raised to the negative 1 power. Well, a simple trick to remember, if you just think of this as some big old number, or some number, like x, whatever, it's raised to the 3, and that's raised to the negative 1. So what I'm driving for is you can multiply these two exponents together right off the bat. So before I do anything in the parentheses, I have 3y to the negative 5, z cubed. Negative 3 times 3 times negative 1 gives me negative 3. Now I'm ready to, I can't do any simplification inside the parentheses, so what I need to do is just multiply this exponent times all the exponents inside the parentheses. That gives me 3 to the negative 3 power, y to the positive 15th power, and z to the negative 9 power. Negative 3 times 1 gives you negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 5 gives you positive 15. Negative 3 times 3 gives you a negative 9. Now we need to get rid of the negative exponents. So y to the 15th is positive. It's happy in the numerator where it belongs. 3 to the negative 3, because that exponent is negative, we move it downstairs. So 3 to the negative 3 upstairs gives me 3 to the third downstairs. Z to the negative 9 upstairs gives me z to the 9th downstairs. And then finally 3 to the third, that's going to be 27. So I'm going to write this as y to the 15th over 27 z to the 9th power. And that's our final answer for that guy. Okay, so I hope these videos, or this video, did you a little bit of good. And this is designed to help you get through Unit 1-3A in your homework. All right, good luck. Go do some math.